As the clock hit minute 76 at Carrow Road on the final day of the Premier League season, all appeared to be right in the world of Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs were celebrating a fifth goal against Norwich while Son Heung-min had just scored his 23rd of the season, of which none were penalties, to see him earn his first Premier League Golden Boot, an honour he would share with Liverpool's Mohamed Salah. In the grand scheme of things, Spurs were minutes away from securing Champions League football for next season, an incredible feat achieved by Antonio Conte given what he walked into when Nuno Espirito Santo was sacked back in November. During Nuno's short and woeful reign at Spurs, the team had no identity. Before his sacking, Spurs had been beaten heavily by each of their London rivals and were struggling to muster even a shot on goal, while a despondent Harry Kane led the line after an attempt to force through a move to Manchester City fell. It all looked very bleak in that area of North London. But just over 6 months later, Spurs are back in the big time after a 2-year absence, preparing to rub shoulders with Europe's elite once again, having taken the third most points in the league since Conte. The players and manager celebrated together on the Carrow Road pitch after the full-time whistle, with Conte gesturing that his players should get the adulation. But just like the rest of the season, the Tottenham fans just sang and sang the Italian. Conte has become a fan favourite in such a short space of time, and the desire for Spurs to go forward under him is universally wanted by Tottenhams. But as the dust settled on the 2021-22 campaign, the niggling anxiety that Conte may not even be at Tottenham next season lingered as he refused to commit to the job, given that he wants assurances that he will be back this summer and his title-winning ambitions matched going. While Conte insisted that securing Champions League football at Tottenham was one of his biggest achievements as a manager, he insisted that it will all be in vain if there are a lack of reinforcements by the time the new season comes around. He said, "But it is very important to not forget the path that we had to try to improve the situation, because we need to improve the situation next season for sure. There are 5 substitutions per match, another competition, and Tottenham must understand this, that it will be very difficult, maybe much more than this season." Today is not the right time to speak about this topic. Today is really important to celebrate this big achievement, but for sure to become competitive and be ready to fight for something important you need to improve. Improve a lot in many aspects, and I know only one word, that is work. Work. Everybody has to do the right path in this process. We need to improve a lot. Next season the league will be very difficult for all the teams. With 5 subs you can change a game. If the bench is strong like a top team, like City, Chelsea, Manchester United and Liverpool, you need to improve a lot your squad in quality aspect and numerical aspect. You have to face in England 3 national competitions and 1 in the Champions League. And it's not just the fans who are desperate for Conte to be backed and will stick around. Tottenham's players Hugo Lloris, Harry Kane, and Eric Dyer have all revealed their desire for the club to spend, as they look to make good on finally returning to the champion. The players want Conte to build a team that can compete on 4 fronts and challenge for silverware next season. I think the club needs to take advantage of this moment, take advantage of this team, and it's in the club's hands now, Dyer said. "We've done our job and now it's the club's job this summer to do the best work they can. I'm sure they'll try to do their best to put us in a position next season for us and the manager to continue to push on and get better." Captain Lloris hopes returning to the Champions League after a 2-year absence will give the board the confidence to back Conte. "I believe he knows exactly what he wants and needs," said the goalkeeper. "I believe there is huge confidence. It's just about making decisions together now. I'm a player, we're going to switch off from the club. We still have international duties, but now it belongs to the main protagonists to make the right decisions, to prepare for next season as then we'll come back with desire and ambition." It is no secret that Conte will walk away from all of his hard work at the North London club if he isn't taken seriously, and he has previously threatened to walk earlier this year if his ambition isn't. After years of vastly improving the infrastructure of the club, including building one of the country's finest training grounds and a state-of-the-art £1 billion stadium, Chairman Daniel Levy must now turn his attentions back to on-pitch matters. He finally has a world-class manager to take the club to new heights, and Conte needs a team in his image to help realize the full potential of what this club can achieve. That's not to say Levy hasn't backed previous managers, far from it. He has broken the club's transfer record several times during his tenure as chairman, most recently shelling out £65 million on Tanguy Ndombele, who was sent back to Lyon on loan this season after vastly. Spending has never really been a part of the problem for Levy. It's what he spends his. However, he has since taken a step back and hired Fabio Paratici, who has overseen the transfers of Christian Romero, Dejan Kulusevski and Rodrigo Bentancur. All 3 of those buys have been a massive hit, but one aspect of Kulusevski and Bentancur's arrivals that frustrated supporters initially was that Levy was too indecisive when chasing targets and lacks a cutting edge in getting deals done quickly. It saw them miss out on Luis Diaz to Liverpool and Adama Traoré to Barcelona. And while only the former has proved to be a massive success story this season, The failure to get certain deals over the line may see Conte. There is hope that Conte will be back this summer, though. Just days after securing a seat at Europe's top table, Spurs owner Zenit pumped £150 million into the club. Several reports had claimed that the Tottenham hierarchy were ready to completely back Conte in the summer transfer window and were willing to shell out on 6 new players to keep the former Chelsea and Inter Milan man. According to the Telegraph, Conte is wanting to sign a new centre-back, right wing-back, 2 midfielders, a forward and a backup. Spurs are looking at an understudy for Lloris and are reportedly close to getting a free transfer for Southampton keeper Fraser Forster over the line. They've also considered a move for West Brom Sam Johnston. In regards to a new centre-back, Alessandro Bastoni of Inter and RB Leipzig's Croatian starlet Josko Gvardiol have been linked, but Spurs will face a bidding war with a number of European clubs if they go for. Pau Torres has also been linked. In midfield, a return for Christian Eriksen is being mooted, while James Ward-Prowse and John McGinn are also being lined up, given their Premier League experience. City's Gabriel Jesus and free agent Paulo Dybala could help offload the burden in attack for Kane and Son, while the pair also add plenty of title and Champions League experience. Should he get his wish of signing several new faces, Conte will have quite the balancing act when it comes to staying within the homegrown boundaries, but bit-part players will likely be sent on their. It remains to be seen if Levy will back Conte in the summer. If he doesn't, then Spurs fans could be yet to experience just how Inter Milan and Chelsea supporters felt after he walked out on. But if he receives the full backing and gets his way, and he has already brought in Ivan Perisic from Inter, silverware could quite realistically be on the cards for Tottenham next